Hi, I'm Allison, and I am doing a 3-video series on fog, fear, obligation, and today's topic, guilt. The series' intention is to provide you with knowledge and hope to step out of the fog and into clarity. Before expanding on guilt, a few foundational concepts involving fog. It's clearly, pun intended, a metaphor for the blurry, fuzzy confusion that surrounds us. Clouds our mind and physically weighs us down with a sense of heaviness and tiredness during and after long-term exposure to a toxic person. In real physical fog, you can't see far away, you don't know what's coming, you don't have a sense of security, it's damp, it's kind of cold, we can't see the sun, and we lose our grounded sense of connection to the earth beneath us and to our surroundings, and our thinking mind takes over. A great question is, why do they do this? Why do they keep us in the fog? And that is to keep us with them. They break us down to make us super dependent on them and any place where it's hard for us to leave. A last foundational note on fog in general is that I thought that awareness and knowledge was enough to make it fade. It was not. I needed actual distance and time to come into a state of clarity again. Moving right along, let's talk about guilt. I begin with guilt because in the very beginning of exploring the possibility of my mom being narcissistic, I felt guilty. I couldn't help but feel so excited that I'd found an answer I'd been seeking for so long, and so I felt guilty, as I have so often for my entire life. Ultimately, a narcissistic person is stuck in a child's state of mind, totally absorbed in their own life experience and living like they're the center of the universe. As someone raised by someone like that, we began to feel guilty for putting our needs first, learning that the needs and feelings of other people are more important than our own. Normal guilt arises to let us know that we've done something wrong, and as a sign to say, don't do that again. But in our experience, it more so shows where we're living in other people's expectations rather than living in alignment to what we want and following our heart. So in this video, I'm going to list circumstances that may arise guilt within us, not to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy narcissist, but rather so that you can have an awareness of when a negative emotion comes up within you and you discern that it's guilt. You can observe that feeling rather than identify with it and ask yourself with curiosity, why am I feeling this way? Was I taught to feel this way? Is the voice inside my head that of my parents? Is it because I'm expressing my individuality or wanting to? And practice a similar approach, this whole observing and finding curiosity and interest in the situation, when you are made to feel guilty by another person. If someone makes you feel guilty, ask yourself, should I feel guilty? Is this productive guilt, saying that I did something wrong and I should move forward changing my behavior? Or is this unproductive guilt where I'm feeling guilty because I'm not living up to their expectations, but I need to consider if I'm living up to my own? So things that may or may not make you feel guilty. And these are not truths. They are just feelings that you have been conditioned to feel. Noticing them and accepting that maybe they're a part of your life right now is the first step to releasing them. So we may feel guilty for the simple, natural resentment we have towards our parents because we were raised in a culture that supports a parent-child relationship. We may feel guilty for having needs because in the past we felt like a burden for having needs. We may feel guilty for feeling disrespected because we learned that we should just accept however it is we are being treated. We may feel guilty for enforcing boundaries. We may feel guilty for not feeling like we're doing enough or like we are enough. We may feel guilty for simply being who we are. That last one is pretty deep. Sometimes we do things and it's just because we are who we are, you know, like we're shy and we feel like we should be more outgoing. Like we feel like we should be a different way than we are. We feel guilty for drinking too much coffee. Like we feel guilty for just a ridiculous amount of things. Incessant guilt feelings are dangerous because they lead us to lose ourselves in people pleasing and over time lead to our real deep unhappiness because we're not living in alignment with our true values. So first, be aware, then analyze, and then move forward. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Spend a lot of time in self-reflection, wondering, who am I? How do I feel? Who do I want to be and want to feel? And practice being that person and feeling those ways. And it won't work every day, it won't come naturally, but yeah, distance and time will help you come out of these feelings of guilt and step into your power. Remember that no one is perfect, and also give yourself a little bit of a reality check. Why are you feeling guilty in the grand scheme of life? Is it a huge deal? In conclusion, take a deep breath, forgive yourself, and remember that this is a new moment and a new opportunity to move forward as your best self. That's all I have to share today. If you have wisdom that you think could benefit me or anyone else, which I'm sure it would, please share down below your thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, all of the above. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, I hope that you're super duper well.